Hey, Donald Burns with a Restaurant Coach Minute. Let's talk about the top 2 sins in a restaurant. So, number 1 sin is mediocrity. And if you read my book, Your Restaurant Sucks, then you know I feel that mediocrity is a virus infecting the restaurant industry, and it's one that we need to fight against. Now, the second sin in the restaurant industry is poor communication. And let me tie that to something that I mention often in my blogs and on my podcast, and that's core values. When you put up core values or a word like trust, what does it mean to you? See, that's the key. The only definition that really matters for your brand is yours. Too many times we throw out words and we kind of assume people know the meaning. Do they? I asked participants at a workshop I held the other day what the word trust meant to each one of them, and we got slightly different definitions as we went around the room. You see, clarity solves that. You need to talk to your team about what each core value means to you and for your brand. Oh, and I hate to tell you this, you're going to need to have the conversation probably more than once. I'm sorry, but being a leader is about being consistent, and sometimes that means repeating things until they become new habits and new patterns in your culture. Lastly, you must be a living example of your core values. Hypocrisy runs rampant in our industry, and it's very sad. And your team will see through that faster than a speeding bullet. And don't think for a second that you have them fooled. Remember the words of Shakespeare from his play, As You Like It. A fool thinks himself to be wise, but a wise man knows himself to be a fool. See, you must set the example for your team by showing them your core values in action by your actions. In military special operations, there's a phrase that you should incorporate into your life and into your restaurant. Deeds, not words. Your team does not care about what you say as much as what you do. They care really about what your words and actions say together. Now, if your core values are authentic, and they will shine through on how you talk, act, and run your restaurant. The key trait all leaders have is congruency.